Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Now, this is going to be an unusual episode of Ignition Time because if you've been following my channel, you know how I've been highly critical of the conservative Democrat from West Virginia, Joe Manchin. By the way, many of our viewers and subscribers also feel the same way. And Senator Kyrsten Sinema, the Democrat from Arizona, because they have single-handedly curtailed the entire $3.5 trillion stimulus plan, and because of opposition from Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, we're not going to see a billionaire's tax. We're not going to see paid family leave. And this actually affects more than 100 million Americans all over the country. However, in a brand new article on Bloomberg, and you'll see this article on your screen from Bloomberg Opinion by Carl W. Smith, Democrats should be thanking Sinema and Manchin. Now, folks, don't blame the messenger. Don't blame the messenger. I am essentially a citizen journalist, and my goal is to bring you the news regarding the country, the economy, as well as our money. And sometimes when we have a point of view, I think it helps us to examine the opposite point of view, which is exactly what this video, what this episode is all about. So, according to Carl W. Smith, the two senators are not stifling their party's agenda as much as saving it from overreach. I'll quote directly from this article. Democratic frustration with Manchin and Sinema has reached such a level that some commentators are suggesting that the two senators should leave the party. Now, I have done other videos where I actually covered Democrats actually saying that they don't trust Sinema and Manchin. But according to this reporting from Bloomberg, and by the way, this is an opinion piece, the ideological divide fueling this irritation is legitimate. But at this point, it makes more sense on both policy and political grounds for Democrats to embrace the moderation of their two wayward senators. So, folks, what exactly is going on, and why should we essentially be saying, hey, thanks, Manchin and Sinema? Again, this is reporting from Bloomberg. This is an opinion piece, and I want to point out this news story. By the way, I'll provide you with the link to this opinion piece in the description section below. So, here's what's going on, and I'll quote from this article. Political analysts offer a variety of explanations for the challenges faced by Democrats. But one factor above all has proven to be a consistent predictor of the party's success or failure: the state of the economy. Supply chain bottlenecks, rising prices, and a labor shortage are more than enough to explain the party's troubles. In fact, Manchin has explicitly cited those three pressures as a reason to be hesitant about passing a big spending bill. He's right, and his fellow Democrats should listen. So what are Democrats trying to do? They're trying to create a big bill, and they are saying that some of the spending can be offset by increasing the corporate tax. Now, according to this reporting, Senator Kyrsten Sinema's refusal to raise taxes on corporations and high-income individuals enraged progressives, but her insistence is saving them from a potential blunder. With high demand and reduced labor supply, businesses need to be aggressive now about investments in enhancing productivity. Increasing taxes on corporations and pass-through businesses which pay the individual rate would have reduced both their capital available for investment and their incentive to deploy it innovatively. In other words, what this reporting is suggesting is that by increasing taxes on corporations, companies will be less likely to invest in themselves, companies will be less likely to hire more individuals, and this can affect the recovery of the economy, because if a business is paying more by way of taxes, they might just say, hey, we need to let some people go. Here's more interesting reporting from this article. Thanks to a few narrow victories in Georgia at the beginning of the year, Democrats have control of both the legislative and executive branches of the federal government for the first time in a decade. It's understandable that they would want to make the most of their opportunity, as is resentment of Sinema and Manchin for standing in the way. But the U.S. economy has changed dramatically in the last 9 months, and so have the political and policy implications of the Build Back Better agenda. Viewed in this context, Sinema and Manchin are not stifling the Democratic agenda so much as saving it from overreach. For that, Democrats should be grateful. Now, folks, I know that's a pretty strong comment, and I do know that some of our viewers and subscribers will have a passionate response to this reporting from Bloomberg. Like I mentioned earlier in the episode, please don't blame the messenger, but I have a question for our viewers and subscribers. Do you think Democrats should be grateful to Senator Joe Manchin and Senator Kyrsten Sinema for saving the party from overreach? Do you agree or disagree with that thesis? In other words, are Manchin and Sinema preventing and essentially saving the Democrats from making a big mistake, which is overspending and creating more inflation? Because remember, the economy is already running hot. The economy is indeed recovering. In fact, a lot of Americans are deciding, hey, do I even want to go back to work because I do have some savings? And this is actual data from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now, the problem here is if you take an economy that's already running hot and if you try and add more fuel to the fire with another large stimulus package. Now, keep in mind, this stimulus package is an infrastructure plan which will lead to the creation of hundreds of thousands of new jobs. It's not necessarily stimulus checks and unemployment benefits. Are you going to essentially create an economy that is even more active, leading to more supply chain imbalances, leading to more inflation? And that really is the problem. So the big question is, should the Democrats be grateful to Sinema and Manchin? And are Sinema and Manchin preventing the Democrats from overreaching? Because again, the Democrats have control of both the House and the Senate for the first time in a decade. And this could be a turning point for the history of the country. Will Democrats overreach, or will these two senators go down in history as the two that prevented the Democrats from overreaching and prevented from the country from going down a dangerous path of inflation? And this is something that this opinion piece, that this article focuses on. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please click like, please click subscribe, please enable notifications. My name is Dr. Nitin Choda with Ignition Time. This right here is a little bit of information about me. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. Also follow me on Twitter. This right here is my Twitter handle. You'll be able to keep up with all the latest news stories on Twitter. My Twitter handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Thank you so much for watching. Again, let me know whether you think whether Senators Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin are stifling the Democratic agenda, or they are saving the Democrats from overreach. And should the Democrats be grateful? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I believe this is going to be a very, very important discussion and something that we all need to look at as we explore what's best for the future of the country, our beloved America. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. My name is Dr. Nitin Choda with Ignition Time. Please click like, please click subscribe, please enable notifications. My goal is to help you live the American dream regardless of what these politicians do, because I think what happens in DC is simply unbelievable and hard to make sense of. At the end of the day, we care about living our lives. We care about living our lives with integrity, doing jobs where we can contribute meaningfully, where we can earn a fair wage, and where we can take care of our family. And that's what this channel is about. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about the country, the economy, as well as our money. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.